All right. Says we're live. Looks like it's working. Welcome, Chris Cuddy, my knight
Hello,
in
hello.
shining armor.
How's it going?
It's going well. Thank you very much. And thanks a lot for filling in for Jennifer, who it's her birthday today.
Well, this is her birthday gift, so
I,
so
oh,
you can't rip into her on this one.
yeah, I can. I mean, listen, it's her birthday. And clearly she doesn't want to spend it with me. She doesn't want to spend it with you. And she doesn't want to spend it with you guys out there. So, what's that about? I mean, if
Hey,
when my birthday comes around, I will be right here doing this. Absolutely.
well, that's because you have a kind heart.
Yeah. No, it's because I like to torture people.
There you
Hello,
go.
Francine. How are you? Thanks for joining us. I love you, Colleen, to the moon and back. To the moon and back. Oh, Amy. How are you, Amy Poria? How are you? Sean Miller is here from our Twitter feed. How are you, Sean? Good to have you. Our OG, Lucille Chavone. Thank you for the birthday wishes. My birthday was Saturday, Chris. We try and keep it tight in our family.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Colleen. Howard Zim. Oh, I'm so glad you're with us, Howard, because Jen is not here. Debbie Lovato is not here. We need all the comedic help we can get. Thankfully, Chris is funny, so that's good because I'm not. Okay. Ralph Rubinek is here. How are you? Thank you, Amy. And the professor is here. How are you, Professor?
Hey,
Natasha. Thank you so much, Ralph. Okay, so and wait, my mommy is here. Without whom I wouldn't be here and Jen wouldn't be here. So everybody give applause to my mommy. Because you could say none of us would be here if it wasn't for her. All right, well, let's start the show. Here we go. A half inch means a lot sometimes.
This pumpkin latte sucks, and I want to speak to your manager.
How much is the economy today? It's that much.
Objection, hearsay. Objection, leading. Objection, hearsay.
Where is that woman when Biden speaks?
So, Chris knows this already, but I'm going to let you all in on a little secret. So, you know how when you bring your boyfriend home or your girlfriend home to your mom to meet them for the first time and they break out the baby book? Well, I thought since Jen wasn't here, that I'd show you some cute, adorable baby pictures. So here they are. Look at her. Isn't she so sweet? That's her with my son, Robert. She was a mommy's helper. And there she is again. Oh, everybody, how cute is my daughter? Look at how cute she is. I didn't. Oh, and there she is when she went to go visit the Statue of Liberty in New York with Grandma Joe and Papa Tony. Isn't she just adorable?
Yeah, I haven't reached that point yet, but I am looking forward to embarrassing my kids a little.
Well, I spared you all the one with her in the sink, or I spared her that anyway. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, we got a whole bunch of okay, yes. Why too so much? Why too so much? Mm-hmm. Okay, English, Ma, English. Yeah, a no wig day today. Thank you, Billy Nolan, for the birthday wishes. Oh, I deserve it. Yes, you do deserve it. Why can't I see comments? I don't know, sweetie. Where are you watching from? You're watching from Facebook. You should be able to see the comments. Hello, Bobby Dutcher. Good to have you here. Yes, you do remember them as babies, Joshua. Ralph. Good evening. Good evening. All right. That will teach Jen for playing hooky. I was thinking of you when I was uploading those, Howard Zim. It really was. Yes, she is adorable. Now, next week you will have to tell her that I showed you her baby pictures. All right. So
Oh, she'll catch it on the replay.
yeah, no, she won't. She won't even watch the show. We're lucky she makes it 40% of the time, and she won't even watch it back. She's too busy. We're living life. Okay. So, Chris, did you see what happened at our southern border this week?
Yeah, I caught that. That was just unconscious. It was crazy for 100%.
So
Like,
I have it here, and I slowed it down a little so that we could see exactly how arrogant and how aggressive they were coming over. So watch. It's crazy.
oh, there you are. Okay.
It's absolutely it's insane. I mean, they broke through those guards. I mean, it had those guards like physically pushing them back, having to push them back, beat them back, and they still climbed over them.
You see, and this is where, in my opinion, tear gas, CS gas, even something as silly as a flashbang, something just to keep them back. But like that's just insanity that the Border Patrol even has to deal with that, And I didn't catch that whole thing. I only saw like the small fraction that the news shows you, but I didn't see them totally running toward the actual. I just saw them like battling it out with the military or the Border Patrol.
Yeah, well, of course. The mainstream media is not going to show you the whole thing. That was the New York Post, by the way.
Yeah, I caught that on. Yeah,
it's fantastic that they were able to capture that. Yeah, the Mad Rush. Hello, Gloria. How are you? It's an invasion. It certainly is an invasion, and the bulls on them. I know plenty of migrants who came here illegally and who lay low in the shadows because they're afraid to get caught or get deported or whatever else. There is no fear for deportation anymore. There's no fear whatsoever. They believe that they are allowed in this country and they'll take on anybody to do it.
Yeah, and on the other side of it, when they come over, it's free reign. So even if they have a problem over here, they go over to the other side somewhere, and they'll still manage to get in. It's not. There's no detour anymore.
There isn't. That way they pull down the razor wire and all of that the first layer of barrier, and we're stopped at the second layer of barrier. But that was only because that was, at the Texas side of the border. But in Arizona and in California, they just walk across. And they know it. They absolutely know it. Howard says the president of Mexico is now making demands of the U.S. for him to stop the illegal immigration. If Trump gets elected, he'll be sorry. Yeah, well, he will be sorry. This will be the second go round.
Yeah. Well, like some of the people that own those lands, like that's their private property. I still don't even get how the government can turn around and say you can't do anything on their property.
Yeah.
Like, it's one, it's an invasion, but two, they're on your private property.
Absolutely.
So it's not even.
Well, the government can't say that you can't do anything about it.
Well, they make it difficult, though.
They are doing everything in their power to limit our constitutional rights, including to protect our own property. Unfortunately, the Supreme Court is starting to kick their rear ends and push them back. But I don't know how long that's going to last. If that was us going into Mexico, we'd be machine gunned to death. Exactly, Ralph. Exactly. We need a wall like China's Great Wall of China. We certainly do. And Haiti's building a wall. I mean, other countries are building a wall. But when we build a wall, it's, God forbid. God forbid. Yep. If there's a GoFundMe page to pay for the buses to take them all back, I'll donate. Yeah, wouldn't we all? They won't take them back, Gloria. Mexico just said, we're not taking them back. Venezuela just said, we're not taking them back. So where are they going back to? And by the way, you probably already donated to have them come here because Catholic Charities is one of the number one NGOs bringing them over. So go figure that. This is our Pope's mission, apparently, is to bring them all here. Yeah, the Democrats hate America and Israel 100%. We have a clip about that later. They say the wall is racist. Yeah, they say everything is racist. Yeah, all right, well, while that was happening, you want to know where our border czar was? She was in Puerto Rico clapping as the people playing music were giving her a royal F you.
Yep, and there's Giggles. Of course, she smiles. She puts on the good show, and then it's like, oh, okay, whoops.
Oh no! Oh, these are my peeps. Oh no, They're not your peeps. But I mean, what gave me the giggles is that the protesters oppose Puerto Rico being part of the U.S. territory. Okay, and the U.S. support of Israel. What? Okay, let's stop sending money. Cut them loose. Ridiculous.
We support everybody else.
Why not? I mean, really, they don't. All right, I get it. I get it. People don't want to be colonized. I get it. But, really, we have so much money that we give to to this territory. If you elect criminals to be your mayor and your governor and they take all the money, don't blame us. But you want to be free? Go. I don't think many Americans would have a problem cutting loose anybody we send that amount of money to. I don't think so. Okay, let's see what's going on. They hate God. Who hates God? Oh, the protesters? I don't know. Puerto Ricans are usually Christians and very religious. I keep getting told to go back into the gas chambers. Oh, God forbid. Please don't make me read stuff like that. Especially me. Somebody's going to clip it up. Maybe Americans should stop vacationing in Mexico, supporting the country. Well, you're right about that, Amy. That's really good. That deserves bells because that's a really good point. I'll tell you what. I now pay $10 a month more for my gym membership because I canceled my Planet Fitness membership last week after they decided to let men in the women's locker rooms. And when I called and said, what's this all about? They said, oh, that's our policy. So I said, okay, well, cancel me, my husband. And we joined a gym that was considerably more expensive. It's $10 a month more for the membership, but all the classes and stuff are is going to be hundreds of dollars out of our pocket. But
I didn't even hear about that.
Oh yeah. I should have probably clipped that and put that in here, but we have other things to talk about. Giving them a bottle of water and parachute, fly them over South America and let them jump out of the airplane in the country of their choice. Yeah, like that'll happen. Kamala has no clue until she found out. Yeah, she had no clue at all. Aida never disappoints. So they don't want to vote? Okay, send AOC back there as well. Excellent.
There you go. I love it.
You can always depend on Sean. I love it. Love it. Democrats, yeah. Christopher Columbus brought them into Latin America, and they hate him as well as he saved them from being murdered by Spanish Inquisition. This is true. We got a lot of good history here. Democrats hate God, Catholic charities, and the Pope are on board with the evil agendas. Yeah, it certainly seems so. But no dongs and bells in your dressing room, right? Yeah, right. No dongs and bells in the dressing room. Okay, so anyway, so the guy that's letting everybody walk over the border in 2007 was in a presidential debate, and this is what he had to say about sanctuary cities. What?
Would you allow these cities to ignore the federal law regarding the reporting of illegal immigrants and, in fact, provide sanctuary to these immigrants?
The reason the cities ignore the federal law is the fact that there is no funding at the federal level to provide for the kind of enforcement at the federal level you need. Pick up the New York Times today. There's a city not far across the river from my state that imposed similar sanctions. And what they found out is, as a consequence of that, their city went in the dumps, in the dumpster. Stores started closing. Everything started to happen. And they changed the policy. Part of the problem is you have to have a federal government that can enforce laws. This administration has been fundamentally derelict in not funding any of the requirements that are needed even to enforce the existing law.
So, Senator Biden, yes or no, would you allow the cities to ignore the federal law?
No.
Okay.
You see, for me, that's the guy I wish was sitting in the chair right now. Like at least he was cognizant, able to speak, and pretty stern on what he was saying.
Yeah.
These days, it's totally, even if he backtracks on it, at the very least, he was standing by what he was saying back then. But,
you know what? And that's the guy I think a lot of people thought they were getting. I mean, honestly, if it was that Biden, I think that, we would not be in the condition that we are in right now. But what happened to that man in this short amount in 20 years is remarkable. Is absolutely remarkable. I mean, he is wholly owned by Obama, and the strings on it are being pulled left and right by the far left Democrats. It's really
by everybody who's not just the far left.
Well, you're right about that. AOC says she's Jewish, but wants Israel to surrender to Hamas, who killed people just like her on October 7th. AOC says a lot of things. Big difference between then and now. Huge difference. Huge difference. That was when Dems and reps were all more center. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
Sure.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's
Oh yeah,
pollen,
bless you. Yeah.
it's pollen season in the South. And so, unfortunately, every once in a while, I get sneezing attacks. I was out with the dogs today. What happened to that, Biden? Yeah, well, what happened indeed? What happened to all the Democrats making sense? What happened to all the Republicans making sense? I mean, I remember when Republicans actually were Republicans. Now they're leaving their office midstream when we have a majority by a string. They're leaving their district unrepresented, and they're leaving us in a lurch. And they're going to work for Chinese companies.
Well, that's the thing right there. More money, and you don't have to worry about laundering or any of those political back schemes. Like, okay, I'm gone. Give me my money.
What happened to the oath? What happened to the oath that they swore to uphold the Constitution? Yeah. What happened to that oath? That, you took a job, you got elected, you're serving, you don't like what's happening in Congress. Okay. But you don't walk away midstream to go take a job with a Chinese company. Tell me they're not being lured. They're being lured. This is intentional. It's intentional.
The only people that are stuck upholding that oath are anyone that joins the military. They're held accountable across the board.
Yeah.
But
maybe
political, that's different.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm seeing what's going into the military these days, and I'm wondering if they're going to, make sure that they uphold the oath. Well, talking about brain trust and AOC, I'm sure many of you have seen it, but just in case, we have to see it, and we got to make sure Chris sees it. Here's AOC grilling Tony Bobulinski at the Biden impeachment inquiry. Watch.
Mr. Bobulinski, I heard your opening statement. It's submitted to the record, part of our proceedings. I have a quick question. Simple. Is it your testimony today that you personally witnessed President Joe Biden commit a crime?
I believe the fact that he was sitting with me while I was putting together a business deal.
Did you witness the president commit a crime? Is it your testimony today?
Yes.
And what crime have you witnessed?
How much time do I have to go through it?
It is simple. You name the crime. Did you watch him steal something?
Corruption statutes, RICO and conspiracy.
What is it? What is the crime, sir?
You
specifically.
You asked me to answer the question. I answered the question.
No.
RICO, you're obviously not familiar with. Corruption
statutes. Excuse me, sir. RICO is not a crime. It is a category. What is the crime?
It's a category of crimes that you're then charged
You have charges.
A long 100.
You have charges. Sir, please
want me to name the exact statute under RICO?
Yes.
What a dunce. Like she claims that she has all these degrees or has all this knowledge. In the meantime, what is this? Like, the guy is going right down a list, and as soon as it goes into like more than one thing, she's like trying to stop him right down the board. And as he's like, how much time do I have? Oh, well, you don't have to just answer the question. Like, what the? I can't even say what I.
RICO is not a crime. Somebody's got to tell Fannie Willis in Georgia, who's trying to round up all the Trump people on RICO charges, that it's not a crime. If I was Trump, I'd just play that over and over again at the trial. RICO is not. The Congress says RICO is not a crime.
Yep.
More specifically, AOC, the brain trust.
I've gotten tired of even hearing her. I'm glad she's not really on the news that much anymore.
Oh yeah. Well, she's not on Twitter that much anymore, which is why you don't hear about her. Hello, Maria Lupo. How are you?
Hello.
Yeah, they're handing the gavel to Hakeem Jeffries. I mean, it's intentional. Money talks, the rest walks. Hi, George. Yes, exactly. Soros and Bloomberg. Nobody has a code of honor anymore. Integrity left the building with common sense. It sure did.
Sure.
In the Tucker interview, Tulsi said all the Democrats loved her at the start. Then she voiced her opinions on the military and Obama, and the rest of Democrats made it their mission to destroy her politically. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You should know, though, the Democrats didn't love AOC when she came on. They all called her a drunk.
Yeah. I think a lot of them still don't. It's just that they're afraid because
they
she has
capitulate
such
to it.
a big, yeah.
Why do they let her speak? I don't know. Maybe they think it's the voice of the new generation. I put many drug dealers behind bars under RICO statutes. Yeah, I'm sure you did,
there
Ralph.
it is.
I know real bartenders, and she's not smart enough to be a bartender. But she's smart enough to be a congressperson.
Yeah, what's a gin and tonic?
2024.
I don't know.
She art over speaking to win. Yeah, exactly. Hello, Beer Nuts. Good to have you with us. Thanks for joining us tonight. Maybe she thinks Rico is an Italian name. Maybe she was thinking Puerto Rico. Rico is not a crime. It's a country. AOC needs Rogue to go behind the bar where she gave out whatever. Yeah, she gave out whatever. Who knows what she gave out is right. Okay, so that's that brain trust. Well,
oh, jeez.
Rico is not a crime. Name the crime specifically.
Yeah, and then he was breaking it down for her too, and she's like, nope.
She's such an ass. Okay. So this is our Senator Kennedy questioning an expert witness brought in by the Democrats to talk about the environment and carbon dioxide. So watch this poor set. Watch.
You're here as an expert. Tell me more about what carbon dioxide is.
I'm here as an expert cross-country skier who sees the changes in my winters and the landscape that I live in Alaska. And so carbon dioxide is what I see it as is, it's a gas that exists in our atmosphere. And
is it the major part of our atmosphere? Or?
It's a huge part of our atmosphere, yes.
It's actually a very small part of our atmosphere.
Well, okay. But, yeah, I don't know. What are you asking specifically?
Well, you say we need to reduce carbon dioxide emissions. I'd like to know first if you know what it is.
I would like to see a decrease in the use of fossil fuels. I think there's a possibility to use more electric generation.
Okay, over what period of time? 10 years, 50 years, 100 years?
That's not, I would like to see it come as fast as possible while continuing.
How fast?
Sorry?
How fast?
I don't have a good answer for that, no.
Okay. How much will it cost for us to become carbon neutral in the United States by 2050?
I'm not a professional on that. I don't have an answer.
You don't have any idea?
No.
You just think we ought to spend the money?
I'm not an economist.
Yeah, but it's going to cost money. You realize that?
Yeah, but we've also talked about the trade-off of what the cost of climate change as emergencies will cost in the future also. So.
Right, but it's going to cost trillions of dollars to become carbon neutral by 2050, right?
I do not know.
You don't know. You just think we ought to do it.
I don't have a great answer for you, but I think I would.
If we spent those trillions of dollars and became carbon neutral by 2050 in the United States, which you advocate, how much will it reduce world temperatures?
I don't have an answer for that.
You don't know?
No.
You just think we ought to spend the money and then see what happens?
I think as an athlete, I think if we spend that money and invest in our future, hopefully those temperatures stop rising and maybe the snow at least stabilizes where it is for me. But yeah, I don't think anyone knows for sure. I don't know anyway.
I believe the children are our future. Like, oh my God. Like, you're going to get a skier to come in as an expert, and he has no clue about any of it. Like, and all he had to do was say, give a year. It doesn't even matter. Like, I don't know. I'm not an expert. Okay, why are you even sitting there? Because your skis, you can't ski as, with whatever snow. Like, what? I don't even know what his point was for being there outside of just saying, oh, well, in Alaska, I've noticed while I'm skiing. Like, what else? What's your point of being there?
He read a long statement about the snow melting faster up in Alaska, and poor children can't ski anymore. And I just love Kennedy. I just absolutely love Kennedy. He tears them all apart. I don't know what they were thinking bringing that kid in there. I have absolutely no idea.
That's just.
We have some more AOC comments. AOC, asinine, obnoxious clown. Love it.
Yep. Just to go back to that, I think my 10-year-old daughter could give better answers in that committee than that kid.
Oh, 100%. Racketeer influence corrupt organizations like the Democrat Party, Rico. Snowboard boy's brain is as hollow as AOC's. I was thinking it would be a good match.
There you go.
I think they put him there because he was good looking, and he had that boyish face.
Yeah.
So
he would wavy hair like a surfer almost. Yeah,
get the attention of the news cameras, and everybody go, oh, listen to him. He's so adorable. Expert for the Democrats. Yep, he was an expert for the Democrat. Human farts emitted more carbon-based emissions than any other mechanical or mammal-based emission.
Wait, who's the one that said that?
Ralph Rubin. Fantastic. Everybody hold them in. They've been walking around more tight ass than they are right now.
Oh my God.
I watch this and it boggles my mind who Democrats think are expert on subjects. I can't. Let's add him and bodybuilders to our conversation.
There we go.
We'll let Arnold Schwarzenegger be president again. He wanted to be president, but he can't. He's not a citizen. Kennedy should have asked him if he would give up his car and heat in his house. Yeah, he should have. That would have been good. He asked him a lot of things. It was too long for here. Folks, plants thrive on carbon monoxide. A waste product is oxygen. You damn asshole. This is the truth. I say this all the time. Agree. To appeal to the young girls. Yeah, exactly. Yep. To get them all on board. To brainwash. Yeah.
Yep.
I watch people like that and I lose IQ points. I feel like I have to watch Nude or Mark Levin for an hour now. It's only a step up from the girl with the pig nose rolling around in the mud in her bathroom. I mean, we're gonna have some of that in a little bit.
That last comment reminds me of Billy Madison, Adam Sandler.
Oh, he's
up on the stage and he does this whole thing, and the let's say the moderator of this competition says something just like that. Everyone here just lost their brain cells just for listening to this.
Well, Nancy Pelosi sent in a message to the right stuff because she wanted to be included in this group of the Brain Trust. So I'm going to play it for you now.
Hello there. There's a couple of issues that we're going to touch on today. Okay, first of all, we don't call undocumented people illegals. That's number one. Joe Biden, he apologized to the murderer, the person, for calling them an illegal. See, the undocumented are the backbones of America. Oh, speaking of backbones, those bodies that were chopped up, thank you to our justice system. Now they're out on bail. They know that they did it, but thank you for our justice system that they're out on bail. Now, for Laken Riley, we apologize for calling your murderer an illegal, okay? Thank you for that. Okay. Now, the Green New Deal. The Green New Deal is made up of green. We made the deal, and we get the money. So just be clear of that. And Bidenomics. Let's just touch on Bidenomics for just one moment. Bidenomics is about making the rich like us in the administration richer, and you guys out there poor. It's communism. Don't you just love it? Enjoy your day.
You know, for a second, I actually was waiting to see Pelosi, and I thought that she had like some serious Botox or plastic surgery. It actually took me a second to realize, like,
that is our own Debbie Lobato,
great,
our in-house comedian. She couldn't be with us tonight. She's out gathering petitions for the conservatives. God bless her. So she sent us that little skit. So that
was great.
Yeah.
She needs to do more of those. That's great.
We have all these college-educated propagandists, same kind which gave us communism and Nazism, 360 million people executed for disagreeing then. What have we learned? Nothing.
Zero.
Yes, that was Debbie Lobato. Chris, she was way too young to be Pelosi.
Well, plastic surgery, you'd be surprised.
All right, so the American nightmare continues. We've seen some of the cream of the crop. How many people saw this Queens situation? Watch.
Well, this is a very big growing problem. I received dozens of tips from viewers about this in just the past week. I went to do what I thought was going to be a routine interview. Instead, we capture what police and property owners are dealing with on a daily basis.
I have video of you. Who are these people? Figure out the situation. Yeah, but they're in my house, man. Relax. No.
To understand how this day ended,
We need the police right away.
with multiple 911 calls and arrests, we have to start at the beginning.
Adele, the hardest question is, how do you say your name?
We met Adele Andaloro outside the home her parents left her in Flushing, Queens. She's in the process of selling it.
No, he locked it.
But she's been locked out. She claims squatters moved in on February 6th and refused to leave.
What's it like being here knowing you can't go inside of your own home?
It's enraging. It really is.
In New York, squatters have rights after 30 days.
By the time that someone does their investigation and they do their work and their job, we'll be well over the 30 days, and this man will have stolen my home. And now she's back.
Just after wrapping up our interview, a woman showed up.
What are you doing in the house? Are you renting this house? Why are you here?
She unlocked the front door, saw our cameras, and took off.
It's open. Let's go in the house. It's open.
Adele and her daughter, with the property deed in hand, went inside.
This is my furniture. These are my curtains.
She didn't just find her belongings inside.
There's a man sleeping right there. Get out of my house.
She found two men.
How long have you lived here?
I moved in about 2 days ago.
They've called the police on me, and I've called the locksmiths. I didn't come in illegally. The door was open.
Police started interviewing neighbors and looking for documents.
Do you have something that shows that you've been here for more than 30 days?
They took the man who told me he had been renting for 2 days out in handcuffs.
They got one out.
And escorted the other guy off the property.
Now you're afraid to come out.
I'm not coming out. This house is empty. This is my home. My locksmith is on the corner waiting to change my locks. And that's not fair. It's not fair that I, as the homeowner, should be having to go through this.
How you doing?
Minutes later, a locksmith showed up. But police gave her a warning before they left.
I may end up in handcuffs today if this man shows up here and says that I have illegally evicted him. I said to them, let him take me to court the way I've been told to take him to court. But today, I'm not leaving my house.
Less than 10 minutes after police left and the locks were changed.
That's not going on.
The man who claims to be the one actually leasing the house shows up.
Call the police again.
With the other guy, police took off the property.
Do you see this? This guy just literally broke down my door, broke through myself and my daughter to get in here. This guy just forced himself into my house.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
No, he did.
And so did you. You broke through the front door.
Officer.
The man called the police on her.
So why is it that I have to leave and he doesn't have to leave?
Because technically he can't be kicked out. We need to go to court.
They consider this a landlord-tenant issue. And by law, it has to be handled through the housing court, not with police.
If you own this house, you would not want her inside.
I don't own the house. I don't own this.
Exactly,
Yes.
she does.
Yes, but then once again, you should know how the law works.
I do know how it works.
There's rules to the. as you got to go to court and send me to civil court.
He says he signed a lease in October, but wouldn't tell us with who.
I got proof longer than that.
Show us the proof.
But who are you for me to show? I showed it to cops.
Dan with Channel 7 News. If you don't want to show it, you don't want to show it.
Proof. Come here, brother. I like that.
I would like to see it.
He didn't show me a lease.
This is a bill.
A bill for work he says he had done to the house. He didn't show police a lease either.
The police department doesn't have the lease?
No.
He's got no documentation.
Just bills.
So Adele, you're getting arrested right now?
I'm being arrested
For what?
for being in my own home.
And where's your lease?
She's fighting the house. It's not her house anymore.
My deed
That's
is
what was
current
told
and
to her.
legal.
Arrested for unlawful eviction. She changed the locks on a man who claims he lives there.
So how does this all end then? When do you leave?
The way it ends is either she pays me my money that I put into the house, pay me the money, and I'll leave, or send me to court, and we deal with the judge in court. It's that simple.
It's not that simple. It's a long process. Evictions can take close to 2 years to complete.
All right. Like, you know, I'm out in Pennsylvania. Someone does that, they're not leaving the property pretty much. I know for the South, it's pretty much in the same world, but like, that's absurd. She has the paperwork that even shows it. So, and she's the one that gets arrested.
Absolutely. Yep. She had,
Welcome to New York.
Welcome to New York. I would get banned from Facebook if I said what I would do. Yeah, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Well, well, watch this one.
2 suspected squatters arrested for killing a woman in her New York City apartment, stuffing her body in a duffel bag and stealing her car. As squatting plagues the nation, there are numerous internet forums offering how-to guides to getting into a home and establishing a right to be there.
And particularly in our blue states, we treat squatters who have no right to be on your property as if they are tenants. We're seeing this in New York, Illinois, and other states. They just move in. You're not paying attention perhaps for a month in New York, even shorter in other states. And then they say, well, I have a right to be here. They wave around a piece of paper, say, I have a lease. And then law enforcement doesn't really know what to do. And it puts you in a position where you have to evict them. So we need to have laws that make it clear to squatters, if you move in, you're going to be removed very quickly.
They killed her and stuffed her in a duffel bag.
Like, I don't even, I got nothing on that.
It's insanity. New York has same squatter laws, 30 days. Not in South Carolina, thankfully. You say out, you're out. 7 years with orders to show cause in the court, always stole. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. It's the American nightmare. Folks, get out of states like New York. You have no rights as good law-abiding citizens. It's true.
Yeah.
Blue states suck. Also set up cameras and alarm systems in your empty house so you can arrest them day one when they break in. Indeed. I mean, really, the cameras are like $10 now. I can't believe this is still happening. It's crazy. All right, so American Nightmare. This one, I have no words for this one. But this woman this woman thought she was talking to actual news media, and I guess this is news media. Watch.
I'm finna tell my side of the story because she already told her side of the story. What happened was I drove all the way up here to get a Plan B, and I like to come to this store because in my neighborhood they always locking the Plan Bs up because people keep stealing them, like me. This store, I can steal as many Plan Bs as I want, and I'm only saying it on the camera because I didn't steal it. So when I go in here, I come and get a Plan B at least every other day. I need one every other day. I don't want any more kids. I walk inside the store, right? Reach up there, try to grab it, and then the lady yelling in a wheelchair, she on the little owl talking about don't grab it because the associate is about to help her. Get up and get it yourself if you want it. I'm not finna not get the very last Plan B on the shelf just because you can't walk. Like, I'm not doing that. So I told her what I had to say, like you should have got up and got it, or you should have got a stick or something, knocked it down. That's the reason I didn't go to jail, is because the lady came, rolled over my toe, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm finna do her in. Like, I'm finna just do this. I did not know people in a wheelchair, upper body strength is so strong. That lady pulled me down to her level and started doing my head in. That is so embarrassing. And no, I didn't steal. Before you said I didn't have a chance to. Yes, she got the last Plan B, but I don't know. I didn't go to jail, so I don't know why the news is out here, but I didn't bully nobody in a wheelchair. She beat my ass. That's just how that went.
Yeah, so pretty much she just made a public announcement saying, "Hey, you want some? Yeah, right here."
I steal Plan Bs every other
day.
day because I don't want any more kids.
I'm
is-
kind of curious how many she actually does have.
Well, and today the Supreme Court heard testimony about the next day pill. I forget what the technical term for it is. That is actually sending women to the hospital with hemorrhaging and things like that, and whether or not it should be readily available without a prescription from a doctor. So I thought that was. It was timely. I'm not going to put your comment up there, Francine, because we'll get kicked off the air.
Well,
how often is she getting knocked up? Well, I mean, apparently every other day she steals a Plan B, so she hasn't been getting knocked up.
Yeah. That was my favorite part of the whole thing, by the way. You know, I don't steal it, but I come here because you can steal it. Like,
yes, you can steal. I was going to steal it, but I didn't have a chance because the woman in the wheelchair kicked my ass. Upper body strength. She rolled over my foot. So she got arrested. The woman in the wheelchair got arrested, but she got the last Plan B.
Yeah, hey. Oh.
Yeah, well, this is what we're teaching our young people. This is what we got going on. Oh, I can't. But she didn't get arrested. But this guy got arrested. He's a friend of our show. He's a friend of every patriot. He got arrested. This is Scott Lebedo, who was protesting the pizzerias not being allowed to use gas or wood-fired ovens anymore. Yeah. So anyway, watch how many police officers they sent to arrest him.
So, without further ado, I'd like to feed the pigeons.
Come on, don't arrest him. Arrest Eric Adams.
Attaboy, Scott! Here we go, pigeons. Here we go. A circlement. Get a circlement. A circlement. A circlement. Let's get a circlement. How is he being arrested for littering? Littering is a fine. You're absolutely being arrested for littering. This mayor is corrupt. This is a fine. This is not an arrestable offense. This is not an arrestable offense, and you guys should be ashamed of yourselves for following his orders. Getting arrested for feeding the fucking pigeons. How do you like that? Feeding fucking pigeons for getting arrested. Illegals are coming in and murdering. They're murdering pigeons. Let's get that circlement around here. Yo, circlement. You're arresting Scott Lebedo for pizza man for littering. Back up. In the city of New York. Don't touch me, sir. Don't touch me. How dare they? Fuck you, Mayor Adams. That's right. Out of the street. Gonna go to the sidewalk. Up on the
There were more people there for one guy than there were in any of the riots that were in New York.
He was throwing pizza slices over the fence onto the lawn, and they arrested him. I got a call. Letitia, we need the lawyer's number. Scott got arrested. Oh, crap. I didn't even know he was doing it. They called me and said, give us the numbers, the lawyer's number. Scott got arrested. I said, was he throwing pizza?
Oh, man.
Absolutely. No wonder the National Guard is in the subways, because the cops are arresting patriots.
You know, I heard something about that, but I work in the city. I have not seen this at all. I haven't heard anybody who takes the subways with that. I just assumed it was the standard Penn Station, the usuals. But
Maria
right on
Lugo.
out.
You can steal a house. Yeah, you can't throw pizza at City Hall, but you can steal a house. I don't know. I guess because of the rats, they must have arrested him under the new no rat policy.
No, but you're feeding the squirrels. You're feeding other animals, the pigeons, the birds, all the ones that have sanctuary.
I mean, all those sanitation containers now out on the streets. Oh my God. How many cops? There had to be a dozen more cops there. The order came right from the mayor's office, Eric Adams. It certainly did. It certainly did. Martin Lee! Oh, thank God. Thank God.
Hey.
The man is here. The man is here. It's Jen's birthday, Martin, so she decided to spend it with people she likes, not us. All right. So, all right. You know, you have summer camp, you have all kinds of camps. This is the newest camp that was all over the internet. Watch. And oh, by the way, in all those camps, not all of them salute the flag, but this one does.
All right. I pledge my heart to the rainbow, of the not so typical gay camp. One camp. Full of pride, indivisible, with affirmation and equal rights for all. Watch your heads.
Those were children.
What? First off, what camp is that? And secondly, that's just.
It was the not so typical gay camp.
And I know I can't. But
the not so typical gay camp. For kids. And listen, I don't know. I'm not gay.
They can't be even teenagers.
Right. They weren't even teenagers. They were young. So I'm not sure. We don't say the Pledge of Allegiance, but we have this. Hold on a second. It's my grandson.
Oh, of course.
Hello. I'm on the air with all of the viewers. You want to say hello?
Oh, no, I'm all right. Thanks.
Bye. Happy birthday. It's his birthday, too.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, my daughter and he share a birthday. Scott has been arrested so many times, I think people lost count. Absolutely. Thank you, Angela Olsen. Happy birthday, Jen. Many healthy, happy returns filled with much love. Thank you, Martin. People are, I don't even know what to, look, I don't know. Some people say they knew they were gay from, young ages and whatever. I just don't get it. I mean, kids don't understand their own sexual identity before they hit puberty usually.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a sister or a brother, you play with Barbies with them or try to destroy them. You play with G.I. Joes. You're just playing around. Or if you go to a friend's house. Most of my friends as a kid were girls. So I was playing with all that. I didn't feel like, I must be a female or whatever.
Right. Or that you must climb into bed with them because you were not in an age where you were thinking sex of any kind, right? Exactly. You go to camp with 8-year-olds, all 8-year-olds play together. They're not thinking, I'm going to hook up with this chick.
Yeah.
Because that's not the time of life when this stuff happens.
Yeah, but also they see it all on TV now. Nothing against certain channels, but like Nickelodeon, even Disney, like they have certain things which show it, which is fine, but they're more influenced by it. So now it's like, oh well, they really like this girl, so and now they're together, so that must mean I am, or so it's just.
They're being sexualized. They're being sexualized now from birth, almost, it feels like. Martin Lee says, please read Annihilate the Sisterhood. It covers all LGBTQ issues. This is Martin's book. You should all get it. Is it martinlee.com? I think that is the website, but Martin will put it up. What happened to Florida for the birthdays? Oh, yeah. Well, we're going. It doesn't mean we go on our birthdays.
Real quick, Martin, do me a favor. Put that in the comments because I definitely would like to get that.
Yeah, Martin writes some great stuff. Endangering the welfare of minors comes to mind. Children do not know what sex they are and easily manipulated. Yeah, exactly. I was playing with the girls, not the dolls at that age. Yeah, Sean Miller, you're a dog.
Well,
you're a dog. There it is, martinleeliterature.com. There we go. My cleaning girl's daughter said 2 9-year-old girls kissing. One said she was going to lick the other. Oh, gosh, 9 years old. Yep. I remember liking boys at like 10. But not really understanding that I liked them.
Yeah.
I liked them. I liked hanging out with them. I knew I liked them, but I don't remember thinking in a sexual way until I was a teenager. Now it seems that we're starting to, do that at ages of 5 and 6 and 7. And it really is, it's gets me crazy.
Yeah, and also, like you just said, preteen. Yeah, you had an idea of, and once you hit teenagers, then I don't know who commented, but that's when I was playing with the girls, not the dolls.
Yeah, right.
But when you have that instinct, either way, it also influences you because if you don't have somebody that's there to support you with it, like. I had my family, but I didn't have a father at the time to to help me along.
Right.
I'm not going to go to my mother with
right.
I think this girl's. So, it comes back to a whole family network too, like a male figure or a female role model or figure in your family to guide you.
And that could be what we're suffering with now. There's so many fatherless homes now, so many people divorced, and the kids are growing up without a male figure in their life. And it could be why we're having so many kids struggling with their sexual identity. There's a plethora of explanations, I guess, or contributing factors. But the fact that we're saying to kids at prepubescent ages, that they should understand their sexual desires is frightening to me. It's frightening. I mean, I don't like beauty pageants for that reason. I don't like anything that sexualizes kids, period. Let them be kids. Why are we rushing them into sexuality? Well, I'm sure we have a million answers for that. So anyway, that American Nightmare, there's more to it. It's happening, and I'm not even angry at the quote unquote gay camp. I'm angry at the parents who, think that they are helping their kids by sending them to this camp. I mean, if a camp is about sexuality, then what do they learn at camp?
Yeah, no, and I agree.
What do they talk about? What do they do? I don't think they're fishing, are they? I mean, because you could be gay and fish with heterosexuals.
Yeah,
you could do camp stuff all mixed together. So why is it this specific, situation in gay camp? I need more information. So anyway, okay, we got a couple more comments, and let's see. I was playing with Barbies at 10. Yeah. Children really don't start to understand until they are in their teens. Yeah. Stealing their childhood and innocence. Absolutely. I think they're being brainwashed. Some are still eating glue well into the 3rd grade. And Maria knows she's a school teacher. By Chairman Curcio is at the door. Oh, excellent. Tell him I said hi. Is it true China is behind funding LGBTQ for the children to demasculate the U.S.? You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I think China is funding getting rid of all the Republican Congress people out of Congress right now. We know that a couple are leaving to go take jobs with Chinese corporations. Started in the Boy Scouts, and now they have gay camps. Can't be good things happening there. I just don't understand. It doesn't make sense. Many in the LGBTQ community segregate themselves, then scream exclusion. Well, that's true. Okay. Oh, see you later, Peter. Okay. Are we? Oh, we're running late. Okay. Quickly. Moscow attack. Watch.
People were all rushing about. I tried to shout not to go into the toilets. Don't get into the elevator because, well, these are death chambers.
The 4 suspects, all Tajik citizens, remanded in custody late on Sunday night. Brought to court battered and bruised, no attempts to conceal the evident signs of torture. One in a wheelchair directly from hospital, seemingly barely conscious. Another with what is left of his ear in bandages, which, in video circulating which we won't show you, was cut off by security forces as they questioned him. One of the suspects appearing in court photographed on March the 7th already at the Crocus City complex, the very day that the US issued a warning based on intelligence they'd heard that mass gatherings, including concerts, might be targeted. Unlike in the early years of Putin's rule, when Chechen terrorism was the major threat, Russia's security forces have not had to deal with this kind of terror for a long time. Preoccupied with the Ukraine war and with domestic opposition to it back home, did they take their eye off the ball? And did they fail to take that US intelligence warning seriously enough? Meeting with officials on Monday evening, Vladimir Putin said he knew that radical Islamists had committed the crime, but questioned who had ordered them to.
We also see that the United States is trying to convince its satellites and other countries of the world through various channels that, according to their intelligence, there is allegedly no Kyiv trace in the Moscow terrorist attack. We know by whose hands this atrocity was committed against Russia and its people. We are interested in who ordered it.
So is the United States try to warn them, but his goal is to find out who ordered it.
Yeah. And just curious, I didn't catch note on it. Was that BBC?
That was not.
We can look. I'll look.
I think that was Sky News. Pretty sure it was Sky News. All right. So about 4 years ago, this news story, came across, and this is WION. This is international television. But listen to the warning that happened about 4 years ago. Watch.
What we're witnessing now is also the surge of terrorism across this continent in Europe. It's not just France or Austria that face this threat. Radicalism has been growing around Europe, and European leaders are waking up to the threat posed by political Islam. On Monday, France struck back. More than 50 jihadists linked to Al-Qaeda were killed in an airstrike in Mali. France has been fighting a long and drawn-out battle against extremism in this region. In return, President Macron now has a target on his head. Al-Qaeda is threatening to attack the French president. It said that killing anyone who insults the Prophet is the right of every Muslim. Islamist extremism has become Europe's reality, and now is the time for its leaders to take action.
In 2019, there were 119 attempted attacks in Europe. Out of these, 21 were linked to jihadist terrorism. In 2020, the attacks in France and Austria mark a resurgence of terrorism in Europe. The challenge is collective. The response isn't. Different European countries are trying to deal with terror threats with their own unique measures. Austria banned foreign funding for Islamic groups in 2015. Germany made a push to train imams locally. Italy punished radical imams. By 2018, it had expelled 16 imams. Sweden axed government funding to 2 Muslim organizations. This included a Muslim Brotherhood youth group. Sweden said the group didn't fulfill the democracy requirement needed for government aid. Clearly, these limited measures were not enough. Europe needs a united front to challenge Islamism, a front that can collaborate with international partners. During his visit to Germany, India's Foreign Secretary highlighted the need for greater cooperation against terror networks. While raising the issue of growing radicalism in Europe, he said, "The terrorists are united in purpose and action, while we, the victims, are yet to be so." This is a pivotal moment for Europe. Leaders who pushed for open borders and sat in judgment of other countries that implemented tough measures are learning it the hard way. They need decisive action and a comprehensive approach.
I remember a lot of those things from back then. We had the warnings, they had the warnings, and still just there it is.
You don't want to be racist. You can't close your borders. Okay, so the question was, who ordered October 7th? Here's Bibi Netanyahu actually speaking with CNN after Chuck Schumer called for new elections. Watch.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer gave a pivotal speech and said, "You have lost your way," and called you an obstacle to peace. Take a listen.
The Netanyahu coalition no longer fits the needs of Israel after October 7th. And I believe that holding a new election, once the war starts to wind down, would give Israelis an opportunity to express their vision for the post-war future.
I think what he said is totally inappropriate. It's inappropriate to go to a sister democracy and try to replace the elected leadership there. That's something that the Israeli public does on its own, and we're not a banana republic. I think the only government that we should be working on to bring down now is the terrorist tyranny in Gaza, the Hamas tyranny that murdered over 1,000 Israelis, including some dozens of Americans, and is holding Americans and Israelis hostage. That's what we should be focused on. And as far as what Senator Schumer said, the majority of Israelis support our governments. 82% of Americans support Israel instead of Hamas, but the majority of Israelis support the policies that we're leading. Go into Rafah, destroy the remaining Hamas terrorist battalions, make sure that we don't put into Gaza, instead of Hamas, the Palestinian Authority that educates their children towards terrorism and the annihilation of Israel, and also an enormous majority here, including 99 Knesset members to 9, oppose the idea of ramming down a Palestinian state down our throats.
Chuck Schumer gave the big speech, but he has support in many ways from the President of the United States. President Biden is a self-described Zionist. Even he is starting to distance himself from the way you are handling the war.
There's a fallacy that is being perpetrated here. And you should take polls, you'll have your own polls, and check whether the people of Israel support the policies that I'm being criticized for. That is, supporting the policies of going into Rafah, destroying a quarter of the remaining Hamas terrorist army. That's like leaving a quarter of the Nazi terrorist army in Germany and saying, no, we're not going to finish the last quarter, and we're not going into Berlin. Most Israelis overwhelmingly support the position that we have to go in. They oppose the idea of ramming down a two-state solution or a terrorist state against their will, because they think that this will endanger Israel's future. They support those policies that I'm putting forward, and to present that as something that is, I'm an outlier, it doesn't represent the majority of the people of Israel, is simply a fallacy. And I'll tell you the other fallacy is, they're saying, well, most Palestinians don't support the Hamas massacre. In fact, 85% of the Palestinians do support, unfortunately, the Hamas massacre.
All right. And next from Schumer, the Holocaust never happened.
Yeah.
What kind of Jewish guy is this guy? You know, it's just
owned wholly. He's owned wholly by the Democrats, and whichever way that wind blows.
Yeah.
You know, that's the truth about it. We did leave Nazis in Germany. We brought them to the U.S. and put them to work here. Well, that's true. The so-called Palestinians aligned themselves with Hitler. The land been occupied since when Rome invaded and killed Jesus Christ. True. So the warning signs are all there. We're reliving history again. We're just like with Nazi Germany, America did not go to Israel's aid in the beginning. The Jews in America actually, and there was a an exhibit at the Holocaust Museum in Battery Park City, in the museum, in the Jewish Museum in Battery Park City, about that there were American Jews who actually would not go to the aid of the Jews in Germany and in Poland until finally everybody woke up. But I mean, we dragged our feet and we're doing it again. It's insanity that we're doing it again. But it's not, this was the latest attack from Muslim fundamentalists. We see 4 years we've had all of these attacks, and now we've got what happened in Moscow. So, I think that we need to think about this. The battles throughout time have mostly been holy battles, holy wars, always, almost. We have to open our eyes, and
history always comes around.
It certainly does. Certainly does. All right. Any last words, Chris? We are way over, but it was good.
No, since I can talk it up, I'm just going to say goodnight to everyone. And I look forward to the next time. Thank you for the opportunity. And again, happy birthday to Jen and your grandson.
Thank you so much. I will pass that on. All right, everybody. We'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you for being here. Remember, like us on Rumble, follow us on YouTube. It's Right Stuff Gals on YouTube. On Rumble, it's just Right Stuff. You can follow me on Twitter, Right Stuff Gal without the S. I know all different names. Unfortunately, they keep taking me down, so I've got to think of other names that are close. We love you all. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next Tuesday. Hang on, Chris.
All right.